Hello, good morning everybody. My name is Chrissy and today I'm going to be giving you a prediction reading for the 14th of June. Now, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know my videos pop up, which I pretty much do daily as much as I can. Helps me to get messages out rather than keeping everything inside. And we'll just get started and we'll just see what comes up today. Now, I'm getting the song today by Simple Minds. And if you're from the 80s, again, we get a lot from the 80s, don't we? Although that's all making a comeback with Stranger Things and Kate Bush's music. I love that song as well, Running Up That Hill. But today I'm getting, for you guys out there watching this video, I'm getting that Alive and Kicking by Simple Minds. Now, it's a great song because it's about, you know, we're alive and we're kicking goals. And that's kind of the message that the guides are trying to give to you guys today. We're alive. You know, a lot of people thought we wouldn't be alive. They thought we would all be filling up the hospitals. They were told this by mainstream media and people in charge of it all, that we weren't going to be alive. But we're alive, and not only are we alive, we're kicking goals. So we're kicking our own goals now, and we're making a big difference. We're achieving things, we're out physically doing things, and we're also spreading our droplets of information, which is helping others to sort of find that light and come towards it. So I'm definitely getting that song today by Simple Minds. Look it up, Alive and Kicking. Go and play that today. We'll see what messages are in that. We often get messages through music, you know, we really do. It can take us back to feelings or memories or, you know, there's so many triggers, just like in Stranger Things, for anyone who's watched that. It does trigger a reaction in people, music. And that's the example that I'm giving today. We'll just see what else we get today. Yeah, I just get the herd immunity has been very challenged. The herd immunity is starting to get challenged. Oh, this is happening. People are standing up and saying, yes, I know it's unspoken, but they are saying, this did not work. Oh, wouldn't you love like people to stand up en masse and just say, this did not work? It's like no one says it. Except us, we say it all the time here on this channel. But the herd is tired. They're sick of it. And they're also tired. So it's like they've all gone their own way. So you've got all these, if we think of a herd of cattle, for example, they're showing me that the herd of cattle is dividing. So it's all like splitting up. So it was once like, you know, herd was following along and doing what they were told. But then there's been this like shift and this breaking point. And where the cattle are, like I said, they're even tired, these people in the herd, which is the people complying. They're really splitting now into different categories. Some have gone over under the tree to have a nap because they're tired of it. Some cattle have gone up and over the hill. Some have gone down to get a drink down at the creek. There's like this imagery, and this is obviously around the people complying. It's showing that they're all going in different directions, and this is great because we need them to go in different directions and not be drawn in again to these fear, the fear mentality. We need them to be being individuals, and that's what's starting to happen. They're starting to split and sort of diversify now into what their own individual needs are. They're trying to look at this moving forward, because you've got to remember they're tired of this too. They are tired of this. It's not just you watching my video that's tired of this. This has been going on for nearly 2.5 to 3 years. And these people, you've got to remember, have been like pincushions. They've been told what to do, what they can't do, and not forgetting that they all had to line up in queues for like 7 hours, sometimes here in Australia at least, and get, you know, tests put up their nose, those PCR tests or whatever they were, just to go to work. Some truck drivers and things like that, as you know, in Canada, that was a huge deal. And there's been all this, like they've had this journey. Like we weren't even on that journey right from the beginning. If you look back, we weren't even doing those testing queues and all the rapid antigen and putting it on our phone and reporting what our results were to government. Like, hello, Mavericks. We never did any of that, did we? Some of you might have, and that's great. If you've jumped on my channel, you've realised sort of what's going on and that you've got to kind of find a way clear of that. But I'm definitely getting that the cattle are dispersing is kind of another word for that as well. And they're trying to find their own way and fulfill their own needs. So this is good because we need these people waking up to think more independently instead of being just herded into the corral kind of thing and just the gate closed and they're all just sitting in there. We need them to disperse because what happens is that they don't have that sort of strength in numbers to kind of come at us again because that mass psychosis was pretty bad. We all really copped it. Like I said here, I copped a few pain bodies yesterday on my Facebook post. But they are starting to go in different directions and this is great. That's the message from the guides today. Just know that there's these smaller subgroups now that are starting to split from the main pack of compliers. Now that means if we're thinking of it like that, it would mean that people are changing their vibrations, and this is a great thing because they're wanting to find that little bit of peace in their life, or they're wanting to have some joy and happiness and go and visit their relatives. They don't want to be told you have to tick this box or you're not going to be able to enter into this premises. Gosh, yes, honestly, these people are tired. I'm not joking. I'm getting such tired, heavy, exhausted energy. You know, I talked the other day about they've been living in this greyness with no colour. Well, that's why they're starting to break away now and search for different experiences and wanting to create their own life because they're even tired of it. It's like the main bull's kind of kicked the gate open. He's like broken the chain, the main big bull, the one that had the, you know, the big brave one. And he's kicked the chain of the cattle gate and he's opened it and sort of released everybody. You know, there's still a few that are stuck in the, what do you call it, the barriers. They're behind the fence still just sitting there waiting to be told what to do, should they leave and go through the gate rather. So, you know, you've got all these splittings of the compliers now, and that's great. We need them to split because we need to get them to see things through that magnifying lens. You know, I talk about it a lot, the Sherlock Holmes doing the detective work and having those magnifying glasses. We need them to actually see the information for themselves. Look, it doesn't matter as much as we put it out and what we do. Yes, it plants subliminal messages, and that's what I always talk to you about, but they've got to join those dots and they've got to connect it. And it's us that can kind of trigger that subconscious mind in things like I talk a lot about the reset and things like that. When they hear that word, it triggers something in them now. You know, that's just an example. So that's what we want. We want people to start to think for themselves because it helps everybody. As we know, when people comply, it takes away a lot of other people's freedoms and choices. So that's why it's very important that we still keep these subconscious messages going to these people. I'll just see what else we get around this today. God, I still get Spain and Portugal today. They must be really rising to these challenges. The people are really rising, and maybe like they're the first lot to go and to understand and move forward out of this total madness. Oh, it is total madness, isn't it? Oh, it's like the world's just been completely just split in two halves, isn't it? It's just, but there's that crossing over. See, it's like I said yesterday when the two tribes come to war. When all the people cross over and they're fighting, it's a real blur of people. You can't tell who's on what side. And, you know, if you've ever watched any of those movies like King Arthur, like I talk about King Arthur a lot, but any of those kind of movies, Braveheart, that's another one, where they come to, it's this chaotic, like, confusion that's the visual that they're definitely giving me today. But this is for the people that have been complying. There's this chaotic confusion. Not for us, because we already fought the first wave of the battle, and we've gone over, like I always say, to Terabella, behind the fence, and we're having our sort of rest period. We come out every now and again when we have to, like, implement a few truths, but then we duck away again and we go and live our life again. But these people are having this real battle in this real grey area now of crossing over. They're really crossing over. You know, like I'm saying, with the cattle going in different directions, they're starting to find that inner strength to break away from the pack. And that's not easy. We know that can't be easy. I know there's a few of you on here that have had injuries and things, and it's hard to break away from that pack. Because, you know, you don't want to get vilified and ostracized as well. Like, nobody does. So they've seen what happened to a lot of us who weren't jabbed and what we copped as well. So, you know, I definitely understand why there's so much hesitation in people breaking away from that pack and that sort of herd, because it could be very, very scary. Because they know what they're going to cop. You know, I talked yesterday about whistleblowers and that, and, you know, same sort of deal. You know, you start telling the truth or going against what people are wanting to push out, then you're going to really cop a lot of flack over that. So that's what I'm getting today. They're in this real grey transitional period, I guess you could say. I'll just see what else we get today. Now, they're showing me like a lolly shop, and they're showing me that, this is for you watching my videos, we're like a kid in a candy store. We are reaching for all that joy in life. It's like when you've been through the awakening process and you have woken up to the truths and you see things very clearly with great clarity. I talk about our crystal glasses that we can see all the time. It's like when you're a kid in a candy store. The world just looks so different and vibrant, and the colours are rich. You know, it's showing me like candy canes and the smells. You know, you walk into a lolly shop and the smells just hit you, don't they? It's like, oh, it's so good smelling chocolate and toffee. And this is the imagery that I'm getting for you guys watching my video. We see the world through a different lens now. We have this freshness, this vibrancy for life, and it's just explaining it like a kid in a candy store. It's like we are in awe of the wonderful world that is around us. And I know a couple of you have commented on this, and I have noticed it too. Everything seems crisper. The blue sky seems richer in colour, and the clouds are fluffier, and the trees are green, and the birds are chirping and seem happy. I know a few weeks ago someone was on here telling me about how they were having a little conversation with a little bird in their garden, and I had one too. There's like these interactions as well with animals. You know, it's that childlike energy that we've sort of managed to find again, and that's what the guides are definitely giving me today, is that we're now like the kid in the candy store. We're enjoying, you know, the fruits of life is kind of what the message is that they give me. But we're seeing it with great colour and clarity. And, you know, of course, with our senses, because that's how we see and know things, is through our senses. But that's what the awakening process does. It makes you see everything from a different vantage point and a different perspective. And that's why we manage to see the truths so clearly and so strongly. And you know, someone said at my husband's work the other week, like, you can't unsee what you've seen because it's already there. It's like imprinted on your mind. And when you see the truth of what's really happening, you can't just push it away. It doesn't go away. You have to keep pushing like through it. So I'm definitely getting that today, that what we see, you know, is true and correct information. And I always talk about, sometimes we don't, even as people who are waking up or awake, we don't always have that concrete evidence, because a lot of it is hearsay. You know, is Klaus real? Is this really happening? Is the reset being rolled out? We have a lot of these questions really around a lot of this. our gut tells us it is. And, that's why I'm always saying we need to get that concrete evidence. We need to look for that concrete evidence. And it's great here on my channel because I know you guys always message me down below, and we always communicate and tell each other what's happening around the globe, which is great because then we could share and know that people are waking up and that the herd is starting to split and that there's changes starting to happen. So I'll just see what else there is today. And they're showing me, like, because we're the kids in the candy store, they're showing me, like, we've got all these, like, paper bags because we're environmentally friendly as well, don't forget. And we're stashing all the variety of lollies, like, we're taking what we can, and we're even taking extras, and we're, like, filling up our pockets because we're going to go and share them with people. So, that's that analogy of us sharing things too. Like, we're not these, like, lolly hogs that just go in and, like, scoff everything and won't share them with anyone. It's showing that we will actually fill up our pockets as well and take them to others so they can also enjoy in the splendor of this new world, is virtually the image that they're giving me. Not saying that we don't eat the lollies as well, because we do. we love the lollies. I'll just see what else we get. Yeah, they're showing me images definitely of the smaller cars. I talked the other week about the VW, the small little Volkswagen from years ago. They used to be around. But that's the kind of size they're going to start to make these electric cars and these hybrid cars. They're going to be smaller. They're going to be more compact. They're going to be smaller. The bigger cars are going to just be phased out now, because I guess you could pretty much call them gas guzzlers, couldn't you? That's the word I'm getting. I'm thinking of, like, images in America or some of those massive cars you have over there. Oh, those, I don't know what they're called, but they're huge gas guzzlers. And they're hard to park and all this sort of thing. So they're trying to phase all that kind of, sort of monster truckish kind of stuff out. And we're going to go back to that. I guess you could almost say it's like a space age looking car. Some sort of space age looking car. There's like a little bubble on wheels. I'm definitely getting that. They're downsizing the hybrids and electric vehicles. I've always talked about how that was very prestigious in the past. If you owned an electric vehicle, you were considered very, very wealthy. But because it's going to become a common thing now, they're going to have to make them more... Oh, excuse me. God, we're even tired of the electric car stuff. That comes back to climate change and everything too. That's been really exhausting, this whole thing, hasn't it? So that's what I'm getting. They're making the electric cars, like, become smaller and more compact and more affordable. I'll just see if there's any final messages today. I do get there's a lot going on with this agenda, with this reset rollout. There is a lot going on in the background. I talk about them trying to speed that up, and they are trying to speed that up. But they're also at a point, to me, these are the global leaders and the people trying to implement everything. They know they're at a tipping point where they've got to nail this and get it right. So when they roll this out, it has to come smoothly. Like, it has to be absolutely smooth with no hiccups and no hurdles in the way. Oh, and you know how good all of us are at pushing hurdles in front of government. But they don't want that. They want the next parts of this agenda reset, which we know they're trying to bring out. They're trying to be so smart that it's just such a smooth transition. I'm definitely getting that. So they're having to, reassess, refocus, re-estimate where this is going. So how much can we implement by a certain date? They had their dates, I think, of 2030 and all this, but I feel like a lot of these dates are being brought forward. When I talk about that speeding up of the process, I do believe that, they're looking more at, like, 2025, to have a lot of this stuff already in position, ready to go. So they're really firing all this up now on all cylinders. They just want it to roll out smoothly. That's their agenda. But yes, like I said, no more. They don't want any hiccups and hurdles along the way. That might be why they're leaving us alone. I think because they don't want us to wake any more people up or want us to stand up against all this. They just want it to all roll out now. Like, it's the classic nothing to see here. Everything's going really well. We've got it all in hand. You don't have to worry kind of thing. We know how in hand government has it. So that's what I'm definitely getting today. There's this, they just want this smooth, it's not really an exit plan. Well, it kind of is, but it's a smooth exit strategy, I guess, of our old ways of being in our old lives. That they want this smooth exit plan to leave all that behind and go into that, as we know, all the digital age and blah, blah, blah. But they want it to be smooth, no more hiccups and hurdles. I'm getting that people are really crying out for more. Now, this to me comes back to like the dollar. People are really starting to get petrified now. And they're like loose cannons ready to go off. You have to... This financial pressure is making people like ticking time bombs. They're trying to hide it, like they've got everything in hand, but we know that they haven't, because it's not stopping, it's continuing. Let's see, people think that it'll just stop and that their prime ministers and leaders and that'll just step in and take charge of everything. But what they don't know and what we are aware of is that they're actually going to push these limits so that people do crack and then they give in again and they comply again. Like, this is how it works. They'll do anything to like own a home, so they'll borrow back from government. Like, this is how it works. If this is what they think anyway, government, if they push people to that breaking point, then they'll cave and give in and they'll just comply and do whatever we're kind of saying. Because again, it's so painful to watch, isn't it? Again, it's like, we will give you that rescue package, just like with the CV virus. We are here to rescue you and we'll pull you out. And this is how they're going to portray all this, that, oh, look, we know you've hit rock bottom, but we're going to offer you this great service, or we're going to offer you this quarter of a home loan. The whole time they'll be owning it and you'll own nothing and be happy. But this is what I'm getting. They're wanting people to get to that breaking point, so they make snap and desperate decisions. And then, of course, they get control of their money and they get control of their houses and they get control of, well, their medical and health situations, as we already know. So I'm definitely getting that. And that's why I taught yesterday about they're kind of leaving us alone. There's no point. They know with us there's no point, because what are they going to get from us? We don't comply. We see through their BS bullshit, and we just don't want to be any part of it. So why would they keep just going down a road that's going to have no results? They're not going to. So that's why they're so focused on all these people and freaking them out. See, we saw it coming, so we're not freaked out. It's still not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be a breeze for all of us either. But the fact, when you can see things coming, you're more prepared. Whereas these people weren't prepared, and now it's just going interest rates up, everything up. And now this is when they're going to come in with the rescue packages. Aren't they generous? Aren't they so kind to rescue everybody for what they've actually implemented? But this is how stupid it is, isn't it? Again, it's just a repeating of the CV agenda. We will save you. Look at us. We will save you, and continue to save you 2.5, 3 years later with the same garbage. Oh my God. It is funny, isn't it? We do have to laugh at all of this because it's that ridiculous. So I'm definitely getting that they're wanting people to reach breaking point, so then they can just come in and save everything. again. Oh, they're such saviours. We're so lucky to have government and world leaders, aren't we, that just save everyone. Oh, God. Hang on a minute. We'll see if there's any closing messages today. Oh, the guy just saying, like, we get the chocolates. So we're over here, they're showing me, like, we're sitting behind the fence in Wally's, yeah, it's Wally, isn't it? Yeah, Wilson. Oh, my God, I'm thinking of Where's Wally's World. We're Wilson over here behind the fence just scoffing our chocolates. It's all that colour of the candy store. I could only see Wally's shirt, the candy stripes. And we're over there eating our box of chocolates in Wilson's yard over here. We've snuck away and we've ended up with the box of chocolates. Like, so we've won the treats. Like, it's really a funny image, isn't it? That's what the guides are giving me today. That we've snuck away and now we're just scoffing our box of chocolates. And see, and again, it gets back to that. It's almost like Forrest Gump thing where he says, oh, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. But it's funny because eating our box of chocolates, we see it as, oh, each chocolate is a joyous experience. Like, we know we're going to get something good. So we create that within our box of chocolates. You know, over here, I think the people who have been complying, I think their box of chocolates is probably very, very different to the one that we're eating. They don't know what they're going to get. They really don't know what they're going to get, and have already eaten, perhaps, when it comes to. But we're over here enjoying ours. We've got all different flavours, all different some are soft, some are hard. We've got all these new experiences happening in our chocolate box, and we're enjoying them. And that's what I'm kind of getting back to that candy store, is we're seeing life very differently now, through the eyes like of a child with joy and wonder. So I'll just see if there's any last messages at all today. Yeah, I'm getting that Berlin Wall again has definitely collapsed, and they are running through it. They are running through it, and they're running through it from one side. So maybe shut your gates so they don't come pouring through into our little Terrabilla. I mean, we always welcome them, of course, but our Wilson's wall is for our protection. So you don't want to be letting people in and allowing them to come in and sort of spill their garbage onto you either, because just because these people are going through their waking up process, it doesn't mean that they've got to the other side completely. Like, they're still kind of running. So I'm definitely getting that imagery today about that Berlin Wall again, that they're still running through it. And that's that waking up process, breaking through your resistance, pushing through barriers, pushing against government and breaking through, because remember, these people didn't have that strength to have their voice, but they're finding it now. They're finding it now because they're tired and even they've had enough. So look, I'm going to leave you with that today. Oh, there's so much going on, isn't there? Let's hope, fingers, they are pushing through that Berlin Wall. Not literally, but, you know, in our imagination. And we're just sitting today eating a chocolate. So maybe go get some chocolate today. I know any of you people out there, I'm sure a lot of you love chocolate. And go and enjoy the chocolates, because we get the chocolates today. We had an Oscar award-winning day yesterday, and today we earned and we receive the chocolates, and they're great chocolates. We know what we're going to get. Lots of little great surprises now moving forward. So look, thanks for watching today. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day. I will say goodbye from Australia. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like buttons, that helps me a lot, and comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Stay strong, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.